Okay, I thought I would compile for you that if you had a Fuji X-T1 or X-T10, what would be the 11 absolute essentials to have with you? Now this is also applicable to the Fuji X-T10 except for, of course, obviously, the vertical battery grip, the vertical grip specifically. Obviously it is more than a battery holder, it is a vertical grip, which most pros love, and I am an absolute slut for vertical battery grips. So the only thing that's actually missing here are obviously additional lenses for whatever it is you plan on shooting, cleaning kit accessories, and whatever form of hipster bag that you decide to go with, which is of course dependent on how many lenses you plan on packing and what sort of crazy fashion statement, as irrelevant as that is, that you want to make. But everything else here is present. Everything right here, other than the lenses, cleaning kit, and bag. So we have 11 essentials here that I can, with the lenses of course, and a bag, rock it out on anything with what I have here. And so what do I consider absolute necessities? And I've given this long thought, I assure you, before making this video. Definitely so. Let's first talk about straps. Now, the strap that actually comes with the Fuji is really rather crappy. Same is true of Nikon or Canon. This is a rather expensive A7 leather strap. Obviously, this is merely a pathetic fashion accessory. Let me focus in a little bit there. This is like the Lincoln strap, which is like $70. Now, one of the downsides to having one of these straps, for example, is the large metal buckles, which can bang into your camera and scratch up your precious little camera. Now, I don't give a darn about that. I'm not a huge fan of the leather straps like this, but if that's something that you preferably like, so be it. The most durable and best made camera strap ever, I think it's called the A7NY. I've got like 12 of these. They made them in maroon and yellow black, and they look exactly like this, and they come with nickel plated brass buckles, and these are the tits. These are the cast ass. Yeah, it says Nikon on it. Oh, you're packing a Fuji camera with an Nikon strap. Well, I've actually never found anything more durable, more comfortable to wear all day long than one of those. Next thing are adapters. Now, I don't know what sort of lenses you want to adapt, but I've got over 130 Nikon lenses, so I went with Nikon F-mount to Fuji X-mount adapters. You have the standard Metabones 1. These are actually made in China. They're actually chrome-plated brass, and even though they are made in China, they are incredible. These are absolutely amazing. Very high quality. Love them to death. This one will adapt the G series Nikkor lenses, since it has an aperture ring here, and this is $130, I believe, current price on the G series, and $100 on just the regular F mount, which will work with non-AI, AI, and AIS and D series Nikkor lenses. $100, $99. It is extremely well made, and considering the fact that it comes out of China, absolutely astonishing. Now, one thing else that I've used most of my life, and most people find, especially in packing around a little lightweight mirrorless, is that you don't need a shoulder strap. I use a hand strap. Now, this is a little Velo strap. Fuji actually has for $80 a very fancy hand strap. I have one like that for my Nikon. It's not that big of a deal, except it's made out of leather instead of simulated leather, which is some sort of vinyl material. Absolutely indispensable. Typically I will not use, especially on this camera, a neck strap, but rather a little hand strap like that. So that's accessory number 3 out of 11. We've gone from straps to hand straps to lens mount adapters. You should always have at least 4 batteries for backup. Now, in this camera with a vertical grip, I have 2 batteries on board, one in the camera, one in the vertical grip, but you should still additionally have, now you can choose some Watson batteries or Fuji factory batteries, but at least have 4 of them in your pack. Next thing, these are really cheap. You can get them for like $9. They're incredibly lightweight. You can see the charger flips out. These are made in China. They go by various names with their little rapid chargers. That they don't weigh anything. And it looks kind of big, but it actually is extremely lightweight. They're not incredibly durable, but they are incredibly lightweight. Absolutely love the hell out of them. Use them for various cameras. What I absolutely consider a necessity also is, excuse me here, the Fujifilm X-T1 extended eyecup. It's $10 from B&H Photo. It actually blocks out peripheral incoming light, depending on where you're standing. Even wearing glasses, I have absolutely no issue with this because it actually sticks out in towards my glasses. I thought it would cause me to have less field of view, but I've not had that issue as a glasses wearer at all. I absolutely consider it a necessity now. It's only $10. Moving on to cable release, I think it's the RR90 extended time exposure release. Made by Fuji. Of course, they outsource it to China, same way as Nikon and Canon does. None of these big companies make their own cable releases. They always outsource them to third party. Now, I've used all of them, including one I wished I didn't buy, but this is not it. This is the one you should buy. It is only $7.50 at B&H Photo. And it is, I forgot the model number, so I brought the card out, the RSC12. The RSC12. It actually plugs into that micro jack on the side of your Fuji, and you're able to stick your camera in bulb and do time exposures. These are either hold in with your thumb and release, or hold in and press forward for time exposures. The other cheapy releases that they make plugs into the mini USB port, and they're actually so tight I'm actually worried about damaging the camera, and other people have reported that they have damaged their camera. As useless as the micro USB port is, since honestly, let's be realistic, whoever plugs their camera up anymore to extract data off the SD card? I mean, the Fuji doesn't even come with a micro USB cable because basically everybody takes the cards out and sticks it in their computer. This is only $7.50. Velo makes really high quality stuff. This is actually better, and I'd much rather have this thing than, and I have used it, the Fuji, I think it's a RR90, a remote, not remote, but shutter release cable. I mean, for $7.50 versus $45, this is better. I like it better, and it's actually made even a little bit better for a whole lot less money. So that is the Velo RSC111. That's available on B&H Photo. You can find them on eBay. Next, getting into Speedlights. Well, as I found out a few days ago, since I'm new to the Fuji system, relatively new, but certainly not new to photography, I can quickly figure stuff out very, very quickly, is that the Fuji system, X-T1, X-T10, and their rangefinders will work in auto mode. And they won't work in auto aperture. There's no aperture data sent between the hot shoe to the Speedlight, but there is a sensor right here on the front of like SP28s, SP27s, 26s, SP700s, 900s, 910s, SP800s. Little sensor hole right there that actually cuts off, to stick the the Speedlight in A mode, not AA mode, where it sends out pre-flashes to determine reflectance before actually sending out the main flash. It actually measures the amount of light that's reflected back, and it works incredibly well. It works 95% as good as a Speedlight and TTL, and it even works better than TTL in certain instances of bounce flash, since you're actually bouncing the light off the ceiling, and it's still measuring the light that's coming from your main subject, even though it's bouncing the light off the ceiling. So in some instances, auto actually works better than TTL, and it's what I've been using now for 20 plus years. I prefer the SP28, not only because I have a bunch of them. I own every Nikon Speedlight made for the past 25 plus years. I've got 28 Speedlights, most of which are Nikon Speedlights. I like this one because it's very small, very powerful, and actually holding the Speedlight out for a very long period of time. It gets to be cumbersome when you got 4 batteries in there. What I use, you can use the SC28 flash cable. Here's the additional accessory. Now, if you want to use Nikon Speedlights, that's fine too. But use Canon Speedlights, that's fine too, and the Canon cables. This is the SC29. This is a full TTL cable, which obviously you cannot use for your Fuji, and you obviously cannot use the infrared sensor, so you can get by with like the SC17 or the SC28 flash cable. But since I already have a bunch of these, why should I buy something additional? I can just use the SC29 flash cable that I already use with my existing Nikon system on top of my Fuji for using my Speedlight in auto mode, which absolutely works beautifully on the Fuji system. I was both extremely pissed and extremely happy to learn, because as every Fuji shooter out there, the professional shooters, they themselves admit that Fuji does not have a great speedlight ecosystem. Now, you can use the Sun Pack and the Canon flash in TTL mode on the Fuji, but here's an irrefutable fact. There ain't nothing made on this earth in photography that is more long-lived and more durable, and of course anything dies, that's electronic, so let's be realistic, but there is nothing. And even hardcore Canon shooters use Nikon Speedlights. People that hate Nikon for no good reason, but they use Nikon Speedlights. Why? Same reason why I've got a few Nikon Speedlights I've been using now for over 20 years. There's nothing electronic-wise that I've ever known in my life, maybe there's a couple things, not in photography, that lasts longer, harder, it'll just keep on chugging and trucking than a Nikon Speedlight. And I've got piles of them. Now you can find these, like the SP28s, for about $60 on eBay. You can use SP27. You can use the SP22. SP800 is a good bit larger and heavier. And the reason I use this is because this is more than enough power, and the Speedlight is nice and small and compact. And it is incredibly accurate in auto mode on use on the Fujifilm X-T1 that I have here, or even the X-T10. Another thing that I will use if I'm going to do plop like a light like this on a light stand, I'll actually Velcro a pocket lizard, what you call a pocket wizard, on the side of my Speedlight, and stick my other pocket wizard on the top of my Fuji X-T1 or X-T10, and then I'll do wireless auto strobist photography. Incredibly useful. So I have a SC29, use SC17 or SC28 wired flash cable for the use with my Fuji, or I could use the wireless pocket lizards. I use both for obvious reasons, because they obviously both have their use. So there's the 11 accessories outside of cleaning supplies, additional lenses, and a hipster bag, whatever it is that you think is fashionably coolest. But of course that's irrelevant to the photography itself, of course. These are the 11 essential core must-haves for your Fuji system, outside of obviously different lenses. And those 11 things are the Velo long exposure release, the X-T1 long eye cup, a hand strap, the very lightweight and very cheap rapid charger that is great for travel, metabones or any sort of adapter that you need for your other lens collections. Vertical battery grip is the one thing that I was going to address last. I'll get to that in a second. Whatever sort of comfortable strap you think you need, a nice Speedlight, preferably Nikon, because they last forever. And people go, I can buy a Yang. Now here's the fallacy you make. And people go, I can buy the Yang Chinese flashes for $40, and you know, I know they're a lot cheaper than Nikon, but you know, they work really good. Well, here's the secret. Here's the secret, and this is what you're really missing. Okay, for $40, you can buy that little piece of junk that will croak on you and drool on itself and twitch like a dead frog in a year and a half, 2 years. Or you can buy something like this that's already years and years and years old for $60, for $20 more, and it will still outlive that Chinese piece of junk by many, 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 many years. Boom! I think that answers that question. Pocket lizards, a pair of pocket lizards. Everybody should have a pair of pocket lizards. That's a joke, play on a pocket lizards. At least 4 extra batteries. Flash cable, whether you're using Canon Speedlights, Nikon Speedlights, whatever you need. And last but not least, the one professional tool that goes with every DSLR mirrorless that most people absolutely love is a vertical battery grip. And I am a total slut for vertical battery grips. Now, most people think that it just holds an additional battery, which of course it does. There's the door for that. You lock it up. But it's a vertical shutter release. Let me get me in focus here. There we go. Using a manual lens to record this, by the way. So have a vertical shutter release, a rear main command dial, sub command dial. So main, sub command dial. You have focus assist, auto exposure lock, and autofocus lock. So Incredibly handy. Every camera I've ever had for 20 years now, I just can't make it without a vertical battery grip. Does it make the camera bigger? Yeah, it does, but it also increases its functionality and its usability, for me, incredibly so. The cost on this is, what is it now? I think it's on sale now for currently like $180, I believe, is the current sale price on the Fujifilm vertical battery grip. Now, it is made in China, but it is incredibly well made. The Fujifilm X-T1 is made in Japan, highest quality, but the vertical battery grip is made in China. But it is incredibly well made. I've seen a lot of junky ones. I know the junky ones from the good ones. So those are the 11 must-have accessories for your Fujifilm ecosystem. Strap, Speedlight, wireless triggers, whatever it is you think you need. If you want to buy the cheap junk, that's fine. I recommend pocket lizards. Cabled flash cable, vertical battery grip, extra batteries, adapters for your other lens system to bring it over to Fuji X mount, hand strap when you remove the neck strap off of your camera and go freestyle, since it is a lightweight little Fuji, quick charger, Velo time exposure release, which is made better and far cheaper than the native Fuji one, the RR90, which is, I believe, the model number on it. And this is the Velo RSC111 and the X-T1 long extended eyecup. That's it. Thank you very much. If you get all this stuff, the only thing you're missing is extra Fuji lenses in a bag and like a puffer blower and some cleaning stuff to clean your junk while you're on the road or traveling. And if you got everything here, you can rock the world out. The only thing left is expanding your photography skills and your expertise in lighting and composition. But you can't buy that. I know someone is telling you that you can, but you certainly cannot buy that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.